Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Bull City Hangout 7-2. I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham Skywriter. That's Durham's online community paper. Check it out at durhamskywriter.com. Now, with Bull City Hangout, I'll be telling you what's happening today in Durham, and I invite you to go ahead, click on that link right there on the Durham Skywriter Facebook page. You can join me on camera after I do the weather. We can hang out. You can share some information, promote yourself. All that would be super great. So go ahead and share that out. Now, today's July 2nd. It's a really important day in my family because it's my granddad's birthday. Woo! Charles Jacob Harris. Kaboom. Darn, there's some glare there. Here he is. So there you go. You can see he was born in 1885. So he was a late bloomer. So started having, I think his first child I think he was 40 when he had his first child. So yeah, granddad, Charles Jacob Harris, he was a musician. He was the head of the music department, a music professor over there at South Carolina State University. It was South Carolina State College, I think, back in the day. And I think this picture is probably from when he used to teach there. It looks like that's probably from the 1930s or 40s, 50s. But anyway, he lived to be 103. And if he were alive today, he would be 141 years old. Can you imagine having met someone who lived that long and also would, if he were still alive, be 141? That's pretty amazing. Anyway, he had an amazing life. If you can imagine, he was born in, I guess what is now, it was called Augusta, but they called it, where he grew up, it was called something else. But basically, it was part of Augusta, Georgia. And then he moved here, and basically he mostly was a college professor, so he wasn't home a lot except for the summertime. So my mom, aunt, and my uncle, they lived in the house with their mom and their grandparents. So, and granddad was always out teaching. So, but anyway, yeah, he was an amazing, amazing guy. So happy birthday, granddad. How about that? Oh, look who's here. All kinds of greetings from William M. Andrews. Let me put on my specs. In fact, let me move my keyboard out of the way, too. All righty. Let's see. William M. Andrews is starting out with a 3-degree fist bump. Hello, William. Hope you're doing great. And he's also saying good afternoon from Durham, North Carolina, of course. That's where we are right now. And William is also saying it's a beautiful day in the Bull City. It's a little hot, but yes, it's definitely a beautiful day here in the Bull City. Shout out to Kannapolis. I've never been there, but I always wanted to go to Kannapolis because I know that's where Cannon towels came from. We grew up always using Cannon towels and washcloths, and I think probably because my mom's from Durham, she wanted to have some, some home flavor, so to speak. So yeah, and I was shocked. So even though I haven't been to Kannapolis, and one day I'm going to go, and I want to go to a baseball game. They have a baseball team, and I was shocked to discover, I'm from Chicago. If you can see by the shirt, they're an affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. I was like, what? So I definitely have to go see them one day. One day I'm going to be able to go to Kannapolis, and that's going to be a fun day. I hear they have a really cool downtown, and what used to be the Cannon factory. In fact, the team, I think they're called the Cannonballs or something like Cannonballers. Cannonballers, yeah. So anyway, so I heard they have a really interesting downtown, and sounds like it's an interesting place. I don't know how their finances are going now that they're not doing making Cannon towels anymore, but I guess I'll find out when I go there. Maybe I could just look it up like everybody else does. Okay, where is my iPad? There we are. So what I'm going to do is to get this show started. So let's see. Let me open my iPad here and go to Durham Skywriter. And let's go to the word page. That's the government and nonprofit information page. I'm always adding to it because now that all of the various there's all these different resource fairs and whatnot for the summer and festivals. So I'm always picking up flyers. In fact, I picked up this flyer the other day at the, what was it called? The Big Pop-Up Community Resource Fair, which was in Durham Central Park. That was a great fair. So anyway, so I picked this up from Communities in Partnership and actually stopped by there yesterday. Cooling station, so when the temperatures are 90 plus, of course, you can always, in fact, on the Let's Go page, I do have a list of places that you can go to cool off, which of course includes all of the Durham County libraries, pretty much except for Bragg. I don't want to say don't go to Bragtown, but it's not listed as a cooling center because it's really small. And I think they only have a window unit, if I'm not mistaken. So if a whole bunch of people are in there, it's not going to really be that great of a cooling center. Because Bragtown, it's really like a house. So it's a little smaller. So, but you can go to all the other libraries, the other 6 Durham County libraries. There are a couple of extra places listed as well. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that when we get to the Let's Go page. And of course, William M. Andrews has to let us know when the time is the same number. There must be a word for that. I don't know what it is. If you happen to know, I know palindrome. I think that's a word that's the same backwards and forwards, like noon. But yeah, someone's pointing out that it's 12:12. The time is the same number. Thank you, William. Appreciate that. And he's also pointing out again that it is 12:12. Thank you. On July 2nd, my granddad's birthday. Okay. So this cooling station is at 101 South Driver Street. You'll probably recognize it as you approach because it's owned by the city of Durham. It used to be one of the city departments worked out of that building. I can't remember which one. Had to do with neighborhood improvement and stuff like that. But basically, this nonprofit is using it. It's really nice, and they're playing really cool R&B music. They have, it's like this, I didn't realize, now that I look at the picture of the building, I realize, yeah, it was a fire station at one time because it has 2 big doors in the front. So anyway, it's nicely air conditioned. They have snacks, free water. In fact, as I was exiting the building, the neighborhood mail carrier was entering the building asking for free water. So you can do that. They have free water, and I think they had something else. I think Gatorade, which has electrolytes, which is important if you want to keep your electrolyte balance during this hot weather. So they are open Monday through Thursday. So they are open today, but not tomorrow, when the temperature is forecast to reach 90 degrees and higher. And I think that does include today. I think it's going to be hotter today than it was yesterday. So, and they have free Wi-Fi too. So you can bring your computer and maybe do some work. If you're like me, you work out of the house and you don't have air conditioning. Yeah. Okay, William is really doing it now. He's spelling it out. Thank you, William. 12:12. It's 14 now. Let me continue. I want to respect your time. Okay. So I'm on the Word page, the government and nonprofit information page, lots of programs and services that you can check out. You can sign up for services to help yourself, to help your family. That would all be great. You can also find places to volunteer at. Just make phone calls, check the websites, and get the ball rolling. And there's some American Red Cross safety classes, including there's a free online class that probably all families should look at together. So it's called Water Safety for Parents and Caregivers, totally free. Got the link for you right there on the word page. Go to durhamskywriter.com, then go to the word page. And in Spanish, they have the same class, and it's Seguridad en el agua para padres y cuidadores. So totally free, gratis. Go ahead, watch that video. Very, very important, because people are already, you've heard about how hot it is in Europe right now. And all kinds of people died in France. I was watching them dropping into the river. They go on a bridge, and then they'd hang from the bridge and then let go and jump into the water or fall right into the water. Don't do that unless you can swim. I'm just saying. I mean, RIP for everyone who died, but yeah, don't get so desperate to be cool that you ruin your life or lose your life. My goodness. What I usually do, because I'm not a good swimmer, I don't go in the water past my knees, and I'll like splash myself, but no, you're not going to see me jumping off bridges. Okay. What else is happening? There's a lot happening. But let me scroll down to, let me remind you that the Durham County libraries are all open until 6. And come to think of it, they're going to be closed tomorrow. I shouldn't say everything, not everything, but a lot of businesses will be closed tomorrow because the 4th of July is on a Saturday. And people do not like getting cheated out of their days off. So a lot of businesses will be closed tomorrow. And I probably won't be doing a Bull City Hangout tomorrow, and probably not Saturday as well. But there's so much happening that I do invite you to definitely check out the Durham Skywriter, especially the Let's Go calendar of events page, because there's a lot happening. Okay, let's see. Let's see if there's any classes listed under Durham Tech, because if you want to start a business, and a lot of people are starting businesses now that COVID is officially over, wink, a lot of people are back out and about and starting the businesses that they always wanted to start. Some people started their businesses during COVID, and they're really blowing up now. So let's see what's going on under Durham Tech. So these classes are all across the state. There's only one class I can tell you about. Okay, Getting to the Grants. I'm Prepared to Receive Grants, Part 2. If you missed Part 1, I would say still go ahead and attend the class, because they usually catch you up. They're really good. So this is an online workshop. It's from 6 until 8 tonight. Totally free, and it's live, which means you can ask questions that pertains to you. Get a personalized answer, which I love. So that's going to be tonight, 6 until 8. And keep in mind that you might say, I'm starting a business, so I can't get a grant. Yes, you can. There's so many different kinds of grants out there. I've gotten a grant as just a regular person. So individuals can get grants, depending on the grant. Nonprofits we always hear about nonprofits getting grants, so of course we know about that. But for-profits, they can get grants as well. Churches can get, or I should say houses of worship can get grants. There's grants for just about everything. Okay, let's see. I got to tell you about this. Durham Public Schools, they've gotten together with all these different places, including houses of worship and businesses. They're offering free breakfasts and lunches to kids. Very often, the kids are out of school, so sometimes parents have the type of job that has curtailed summer hours. Whatever the reason is, and you don't need a reason, if you're struggling, and of course you want your kids to stay fed, be sure to take them or send them to one of these places. Find the one that's closest to your house. I took pictures of the flyers. There's 7 flyers listing all these different places. Like, for example, there's one close to right around the corner practically from my house, Bull City Woodshop, 1912 East Pettigrew. they're serving breakfast. Oh, they're not serving breakfast, but they do serve lunch. So be sure to look carefully at the flyer because some places have breakfast and lunch. Some serve either breakfast or lunch. They do tell you the address and the time. And the kids eat there on the premises. They don't take the food home. They eat it right there. It's called the Sun Meals North Carolina program. And thumbs up to Durham Public Schools for looking out for the kids. Love that. And this is for young people ages 1 to 18. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to zip right on over to the, let's go to the health page, to your health. Okay, and I like to point out, with it being summer, that the first thing you see on the health page, a picture of ambulances. If you click on that picture of ambulances, you'll be taken to a page that lists hospital emergency departments and also urgent care clinics. And you go to the urgent care clinic when you think you need some help, but you don't think it's like life challenging, so to speak. I went to an urgent care clinic when I had a sciatica flare up. And my doctor, I mean, you can't always just call your doctor and say, oh, I'd like to come in at 4:30. They're busy and they already have, appointments, set in advance. So she told me to go to one of the urgent care clinics that's affiliated with Duke, which is what I did. And there's all these different urgent care. We must have more than a dozen here in the Durham area. Some are with Duke, some are with Wake Med or whatever. Some are independent. There's one that's 24/7. There's one that comes to your house. So check it out. It's good to know in advance where to go for help when your child or when someone gets hurt over the summer. Speaking of over the summer, check the school tools page where I describe the summer reading program, which is being hosted by all of the Durham County libraries. Definitely sign up your child for that. In fact, you don't even need to have a kid to take part. I mean, anybody can take part. But basically, you're keeping tabs on what you read by, they'll give you a log, you write down the title. After the log is all filled out, then you take it back to the library, whichever one's closest to your house. And then, of course, if you do have children, they can get like little stickers, like cute things like that. And then you can also enter your child for a raffle. And I don't know what they'll be raffling this year, but I know in past years they raffled off some pretty incredible items. So I'm going to say about that. So let me continue. So again, that's on the school tools page. Also, you'll see that same list of places that you can take your children to get breakfast and lunch. That's also on the school tools page. So I repeated it on 2 pages to make sure you don't miss it. Okay, now I'm going to check for the blood drives. I have a feeling that they're taking time off because we're very close to a holiday. I am absolutely wrong. The American Red Cross has 2 blood drives going on today. Well, how about that? Okay, so in 5 minutes, their crew will be setting up shop at Chick-fil-A, 3429 Hillsborough Road, and they will be there today from 12:30 until 5. And then, let's see. Oh, they're already at the North Regional Library. Yeah, they are there, and they will be there until 5. It's another crew from the American Red Cross taking blood donations where you can, like I said, literally save someone's life. The library is at 221 Milton Road. That is right off of North Roxborough. Okay, let's check with Blood Connection. They also have a blood drive going on right now. Okay, and they are at Sprouts right now, 105 West Highway 54, and they'll be there until 7. And then on this coming Sunday, they will be at the Kohl's over there very close to Home Depot off of 15501. That official address is 5241 McFarland Road from 11 until 7 on Sunday. Okay. Now, usually I tell you about the Health Equipment Loan Program, which is open on Fridays. from 1 until 5, but I have a feeling, because I think all of the government offices, and this is run by Durham County, I think they're going to be closed tomorrow. I think the banks are closed tomorrow too. I better check my money. Yeah, because essentially we're having a long weekend starting tomorrow. So check your pockets and purses. If you don't have enough money, you might have to run to the bank. And they're only open usually until, what, 5? So you might want to check that out. They're probably closed. So the help program is probably also closed tomorrow. So maybe next Tuesday you can check them out. And basically what it is, they have donated items like walkers and wheelchairs, and they loan them out to people who need them for 90 days at a time. They're on North Roxborough Street, and you can read all about it on the To Your Health page. Okay, let's go to the Senior Scope page. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Let me go back to the health page. And let me go to the top of the page and click on that health events button. I forgot about the health events. That's a different page. So let's see. Because today's Thursday. So what is happening today? At the American Dance Festival, they have PWR Moves, Parkinson's Wellness Recovery. That's a free class for people with Parkinson's and also their care partners. This is at the American Dance Festival Scripps Studios, 721 Broad Street on the second floor. They have their own parking lot. I know it's hard to walk sometimes when you have Parkinson's, but you won't have to walk far. So park as close to the door as you can. Once you get in the door, then a few more steps, and you take the elevator up to the second floor to take this free class. Now, tomorrow they usually have a virtual class at 11. They probably won't have that. I shouldn't say for sure whether they will or not, but you can definitely give them a call. I have the phone number right there, and you can give them a call and see if they're going to have the virtual dance for Parkinson's at 11 o'clock tomorrow. And I'm sorry, I didn't have time to do it myself. Okay, now let's hop over to the Senior Scope page, and let's see what's happening at the Durham Center for Senior Life. And I'm almost done updating this page, so I'm not going to tell you what the about the workout classes, because they have some new ones which I have not added yet, which means they've probably taken some away. So all I can do is to tell you if there are any special programs today. Now today, going on right now, oh my goodness, they're having a 4th of July party right now in the Lower Commons. They have popsicles, music, and games. And if you wear red, white, and blue, you have a chance to be crowned most patriotic. So that is going on right now until 1. And that is the only thing that I can announce, because they are closed tomorrow for the 4th of July holiday. I will tell you, though, that on Monday, from 9 until noon, they're going to have Durham County Veteran Services. And that is where military veterans and their families, they can come out to the Durham Center for Senior Life. You set an appointment by calling first 919-688-8247, extension 103. Make an appointment between 9 and before noon. And then you talk about benefits that maybe you missed out on. Sometimes military veterans, they get real busy with life, and then they sometimes forget, or it doesn't occur to them, or they missed out on benefits, however they do it. And then you can find out what you missed. So you can you earned it, so you might as well go ahead and take advantage of these benefits. They do this twice a month. So see if you can call this afternoon and get in on Monday's Veteran Services. It's like eligibility talk. So the next time they'll do it is, let's see, because they do it at least twice a month. So the next time will be Monday, July 20th. So see if you can get in tomorrow if you know you're going to be in town. Alrighty. And then the stroke support group, they will also be meeting on Monday at 1 o'clock. Okay, now let's zip over to the Let's Go page. And let's see what is on the docket for today. Oh, so I took a picture of that flyer that I just showed you about the cooling station at 101 South Driver Street. So I just went ahead and added that to the Let's Go page. Also, there are cooling centers that are going to be open today, but not tomorrow and not Saturday because of the 4th of July holiday. But they will be open on let's see, the main library will be open on Sunday. So you can go to the North Regional Library, East Regional, South Regional, Main, Southwest Regional, and Stanford L. Warren Library today until closing at 6. They're nicely air conditioned. And then the main library will be open on Sunday from 1 until 6. There are additional cooling centers at Urban Ministries of Durham, 410 Liberty Street in the Hope Day Center. And they're open on weekdays from 8 until 6 when it's super hot. Also, the Durham Rescue Mission, you have to call them first. They actually have 2 addresses, 507 East Knox Street for women and children, and then 1201 East Main Street for men. And then there's an emergency shelter wait list, and I guess that's good for people who are unhoused because it's awfully hot. We don't want you getting heat stroke or heat exhaustion or whatever. Speaking of which, check the how-to page of the Durham Skywriter at durhamskywriter.com, where you can learn the difference between heat stroke and heat exhaustion. There's a difference, and if someone falls out in front of your house or in front of you, or it's, within view, you need to know what to do. First, you call 911, regardless. And then you can use bags of frozen vegetables or whatever, ice packs, whatever, to cool them down. But you need to know the difference, though, between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. One is much, much worse than the other. You've got to know the difference, especially if you're going to call 911, because you have to be able to tell them what's going on with the person who needs help. So definitely check out that page for sure. Very important. Okay, let's see. Now, scrolling down to July 2nd, let's see. You got a half hour if you can make it to the Durham Community Food Pantry. It's running right now until 1. It's run by Catholic Charities. You can go once a month. You talk to a social worker. Let them know if you can't have dairy or pork. It'll make a substitution, and then you walk out of there with a week's worth of groceries, which is nice. Now, it's only July 2nd. I don't know if they got their month's allotment of diapers yet, but usually they have pull-ups that they give away for free. They have all the different sizes from the newborns up to the toddlers, and they have the big ones for adults. So go ahead and ask, and if they don't, they'll probably tell you, come back, next week or whatever day. Because they have to go pick them up. They pick them up once a month, and then they give them away until they're done. So this is at the Lakewood Shopping Center, 2020 Chapel Hill Road. So this is only going on today until 1. So you might want to zip over there right now. Now, Wheels Durham, 715 North Hoover Road. They have summer public skating. Every weekday, they have 2 sessions. 11 until 1:30, and then 2 until 4:30. So they're separate. Admission for skaters is $13 for each skate session, and then you can rent skates for $6 if you don't own, $7 if you are a rollerblader, and that should be lots of fun. Now, if you're an adult, age 18 plus, and you're only there to watch your kid or your little cousin or whatever, you don't plan to skate, then you only pay $4. Okay, let's see what else is happening. Oh, there's a job fair going on right now. It's already started, and they'll be going until 2:30. Iron Horse Roofing. And you've seen roofers. You know it's a tough job. And I'll bet, because it's tough, it might pay well. Let me know if you know. The address is 2140 Page Road, Suite 103. So Iron Horse Roofing, they're holding a job fair right now. So they're going to serve you some barbecue. And then you have to be ready for an on-the-spot interview. If you have a resume, it doesn't say here to bring your resume, because I know it's like a hands-on type job. But if you have a resume, especially if you've done any kind of like construction work or whatever, then maybe you want to bring your resume. It does say here, though, paid training will be provided. So they'll teach you how to put on roofs. So that sounds like a good deal to me. So check it out. That's going on today, 2140 Page Road, Suite 103, Iron Horse Roofing, until 2:30. You have a couple of hours to hop over there. Okay, let's see. I told you about the public skating. Oh, is that today? Okay, the West End Free Market. They're giving away fresh produce today. Oh boy, that's going to be at the Lion Park Recreation Center, 1309 Halley Street. So seniors are served first. So if you're age 65 plus, you can get in at 2:45. And don't forget, they have a parking lot right across the street. Okay, that's the center's parking lot, right there. Or you can park on Cornell. Either way, but if you're a senior age 65 plus, you can get in at 2:45. Then everybody else can get in there at 3. And I want to give a thumbs up to the partnership that they have made to make this possible. So of course it is the West End Community Foundation, and also the Autism Center, Part and Parcel, the Duke Campus Farm, Farmer Food Share, Durham Parks and Recreation, and Seal the Seasons. All right. Now, if you like music and you like sitting outside and you like New Orleans, check this out. Boxyard RTP, that outdoor venue at 900 Park Offices Drive off of Highway 54. They're going to be featuring New Orleans jazz and swing by Garrett Hitmar and Root Down. That is the Taking Back Thursday live concert series this evening from 5:30 until 7:30. So it's free admission. You can always buy food, drinks, if you get hungry or thirsty. But for the most part, they're not going to tell you to buy anything. You just go and sit and enjoy the great music. So again, that is 5:30 until 7:30 at 900 Park Offices Drive. I would still suggest, even though they do have a giant fan overhead, that you might want to wet a hand towel and drape it across your head or your neck. We don't want you to get, too overheated. Okay, I'm just going to announce this. Runners do tend to be tough, but it's a little hot out there. But the Fleet Feet Pony Run usually starts at and returns to Ponysaurus Durham, 219 Hood Street. They start running around 6:15 and they run until 8:30. You can choose either to run 3 or 5 miles. Run at your own pace. It's a totally free event. So, but be careful though. If you do run, it's really hot today. It's really, really hot. Stay hydrated, please. Okay, wait, is she doing this today? I think she's holding it today. Yeah, Melinda at Party of One, she hosts these soul line dance classes. They're free at the W.D. Hill Recreation Center from 6:30 until 7:30. I was hesitating because I know she had to cancel. Oh, she had to cancel the last week in July. I think she had to cancel that one. But yeah, this one is still going on. So if you want to learn how to soul line dance, definitely stop by. 6:30 until 7:30 at W.D. Hill, 1308 Fayetteville Street. Now here's some more running. The Latinos and Latinas Run Club. They'll be running from 6:30 until 8:30. A 3 to 4 mile run through downtown Durham. Now, with all that concrete, it's going to be hotter downtown than anywhere else besides the airport. So stay hydrated, please. So it starts and ends at the Glass Jug Beer Lab, 545 Foster Street. You run at your own pace. And I have links to click so you can go ahead and register or get more information. Now, this is a very, very special event, especially for guitarists. If you play guitar and you love acoustic guitar especially, listen up. Very special occasion here. So, Brandon Lee Adams will be hosting a clinic at Sound Pure. I have not been to Sound Pure in years. I'm so glad that they're still at it. So that's a high-end music store downtown at 808 Washington Street. 808, that's a great number for music. Okay, so anyway, if you know, you know. 808 Washington Street. So that will be this evening from 7 until 9. Brandon Lee Adams is an Emmy-winning, not just Emmy-nominated, Emmy-winning songwriter and acoustic guitarist. He will be leading an intimate night of Appalachian folk, Americana, and bluegrass music. It's free, but they know a lot of people will be showing up, so definitely get your ticket first by going online. I've got the link for you right there. So that's going to be, again, tonight from 7 until 9 at Sound Pure. Now, I'm just going to tell you of a couple of things that I know are happening tomorrow. You know what? The only thing I'm really sure about is that Wheels Durham will have summer public skating tomorrow. The 2 sessions that I told you about, 11 to 1:30, 2 to 4:30. So I know they're doing that. I don't even know if the Community Health Coalition, if they're going to have their food giveaway at Kyle's Temple at 409 Dunstan. They usually do so on Fridays and Saturdays. I'm going to give them a call as soon as the show is over. I think you'll be able to see when you go to the Durham Skywriters Let's Go page whether they will be giving away food tomorrow and Saturday. Probably not Saturday. It's definitely a holiday. Now, there's definitely the Bull City Freedom and Good Food Fest. That's definitely going on. It's hosted by Savor Your City Festival. So this is going to be in Durham Central Park. That'll be tomorrow from 3 until 9. You can shop with arts and crafts and local business vendors. They're going to have dancing and line dancing. They're going to have not just one, they're going to have 2 DJs. And of course, they're going to have food there, including barbecue and Italian ices. You know, that's a good combination. So anyway, that'll be from the food vendors. I'm assuming that you have to pay for that, but it is free admission. So that's going to be tomorrow from 3 until 9. And it's nice that they're continuing it through the night because, you know, it'll start getting cooler because it's going to be really hot tomorrow. Let's see. I know that's canceled. That's canceled. Now, Wheels Durham will definitely be having their $8 glow-in-the-dark family night skate. That'll be tomorrow from 6 until 8:30. Admission for skaters is $8, and you can rent if you don't own. This is definitely going on. Succotash Southern and Creole Kitchen at 3219 Old Chapel Hill Road. They're going to be featuring Soul Livin' Jazz with Silas Eglar on drums, Noah Shue on upright bass, and Elijah Smith on keyboard, and Seth Sullivan on sax. That'll be tomorrow at 7. No cover charge, but of course it's a restaurant, so they expect you to, to order something. And they'll be showing some movies at the Carolina Theater, so if you want to, watch movies in air-conditioned splendor, head over to the Carolina Theater tomorrow at 7. They'll be showing not only Jaws by Steven Spielberg, but also Geno Sparks, I hope I said that right, Jaws 2. So apparently, let's see, so Jaws was made in 1975, Jaws 2 was made in 1978. They're both rated PG. So they start at 7. Ticket prices are $12 for both, for the double header. And then you can click and watch the trailer for both movies to see if you want to watch both or just watch one and then cut out or whatever you want to do. And then there's another link so you can click and get your ticket in advance. Wheels Durham is also going to have Friday night adult night skate tomorrow from 9 until midnight for age 18 plus, where admission is $13 for skaters. Now, let's see what's happening on July 4th. Rhodes Scholars will be having their July Cars and Coffee from 8 until 11, where you can go to 5425 Page Road, and they pop the hoods and you can look at the engines and the carburetors and all that sort of thing, with if you're a car lover. So the feature for Saturday will be American muscle cars. So I'm guessing Ford Mustang. I don't know what else is an American muscle car. If you know, let me know. But for sure, I know the Mustang is definitely a muscle car. Now, the farmers markets will be going on. So the Durham Farmers Market downtown in Durham Central Park from 8 until noon. The Durham Craft Market shares Durham Central Park. They're on the north end of the park, so they'll be there as well. The South Durham Farmers Market is Saturday also from 8 until noon at Hub RTP, 500 Park Offices Drive off of Highway 54. Now, both of the farmers markets, they take part in the Double Bucks program. That means if you're using SNAP, EBT, WIC, you live in public housing, Durham Housing Authority, you can double your money. So don't shop before stopping off at the manager's table. So definitely do that first. And I think they'll have you swipe something or whatever, and then they'll give you a bunch of tokens. So you can use the tokens to, to double your money and to shop with the tokens, which is really nice. Also happening Saturday, Bagging It for Kids and Root Causes are teaming up for a grocery giveaway, and that's going to be this Saturday from 9 until 10:30 at the Root Causes Distribution Hub. That's 1925 Yearby Avenue. If you have no idea where that is, it's right off of the street where the Duke Gardens. What is that? Anderson? It's right off of Anderson. It's practically across the street. It's down the street just a bit from Duke Gardens. So it's right in that area. Use your GPS, but I don't think you'll miss it. And once you see the area, you're going to be, this is a nice little area to hang out at. So again, it's 1925 Yearby Avenue, and that's Saturday from 9 until 10:30. The Children's Independence Day Parade will be going on. Now, this is the first time since I've been DJing for the event, which is going to be Saturday from 9 until 11 in Durham Central Park. It's the first time that since I've been playing, and I've been playing for them for at least 10 years. It's never been on a Saturday until this year. So they have moved us to the other side of the park because the farmers market will be under the pavilion. Usually we're under the pavilion, but the farmers market will be in session. So they will be under the pavilion. So we'll be on the other side of the park where the playground is. And you can, take your little ones and you can decorate your scooters and your prams and your bikes and scooters and all those other things. And I'll be playing fun, happy music. And then we're still going to have the parade around the park and across the bridge. And I think the parade is going to be at 10. The event will be over by 11 before it gets really hot. So we'll be starting at 9. You can park in the Measurement Incorporated parking lot on Morris, so be sure to do that. And yeah, I hope to see you there. So I'll probably be there an hour early to set up. So I might be playing music all the way through. I might play from 8 until noon if they let me, since the farmers market and the craft market is open until noon. So we'll see. I'll ask for permission. But basically, bring the kids, bring your tricycles, your scooters, your big wheels, your wagons, your strollers, and all that, and enjoy the Children's Independence Day Parade. It's a super fun event. The scrap exchange will be there, of course, because that's how you decorate your vehicle. They'll have all these streamers and stars and stripes and all kinds of great stuff. It's always a super, super fun event. All right. Now, I was wondering about Festival for the Eno. I didn't hear anything about it. Usually it's over the 4th of July weekend. They're not having it this year. What they're saying, it's a little up in the air, but they have a new director, and I think some values have changed from what I've been reading. But And a lot of people are saying, well, I had heat stroke there 2 years in a row, and I'm glad it's not going to be on the 4th of July. Totally understand that, because you are out there with the sun blasting down on you, and it's, every year for decades. So they're actually going to have, I think, a smaller festival in September downtown. And then I think they're going to have some kind of a concert, probably at the Carolina Theater, for a festival for the Eno. So it will not be an outdoor July 4th weekend event until further notice. So I'll definitely stay on it and let you know what's happening. But yeah. Oh, there's more happening. Let me tell you what else is happening on the 4th of July. The Frederick Douglass Community Reading. That's going to take place on Saturday from 10 until 11 in front of the slave dwellings. It's hard to say. Slave dwellings at Horton Grove. So that's actually at historic Stagville. There's actually 2 addresses because you have to drive from one spot to the other. There's actually 2 parts to historic Stagville. So they will be at 5925 Jock Road, and that's in Bahama. So basically, audience members will be encouraged to listen to and even participate in a reading of Frederick Douglass's 1852 powerful Independence Day speech, What to the Slave is the 4th of July. It is one of the most dynamic speeches in American history. I've read it, but to hear it read, that might be really moving. Wow. So you can get copies of the speech in both, they'll be available in both English and Spanish. And afterwards, you can take a tour. Don't skip seeing the Great Barn. That is amazing. Now, I know a lot of local folks that I know have not been to Stagville because they don't like to be reminded of slavery. I'm like, that's over with. Here's the thing. What is amazing about Stagville, it's not just making you feel bad because black folks started out as slaves. What's amazing is the Great Barn. It was built by Africans, West Africans, and enslaved people. And some West African visitors came to Stagville. The tour guides would always tell you, it's genius how the enslaved people built the Great Barn. It's humongous. And of course, it's been here since slavery days, so it's outlasted all the hurricanes and tornadoes. So they built it there's no nails, no screws. They fit everything together perfectly. Now, some West African visitors went to Stagville and they looked up and they said, this is a boat. This is a ship. What they actually did, they used their shipbuilding skills, the West Africans used their shipbuilding skills to build the Great Barn. In other words, it is a ship on land, basically. Same techniques. It was only recent that the staff learned this because, like I said, some West Africans who still have the skills recognized genius when they saw it. They recognized, because they say they still build things that way, the same way whichever, I can't remember which country, unfortunately. But I think it's worth going to Stagville just to see the Great Barn because it is sheer genius. It is awe-inspiring. So anyway, there's that. Also, the Watts Hillendale 4th of July Parade and Celebration. They'll be starting at 10 o'clock on Saturday in Oval Drive Park, 2200 West Club Boulevard. This started out as a cute little neighborhood event, and it's blossomed into a bigger neighborhood event. So they would love it if neighborhood volunteers would show up an hour early to help decorate the park. And so they're going to have a colorful parade, and they'll be singing songs and ending with a cold beverage. So that's really, really fun. Now, Wheels Durham on the 4th of July, they're going to have the 4th of July all-day skate, 11 until 6:30. Check out how much it's going to cost. $2.50, because, America, right? 250. So, yeah, you can skate all day from 11 until 6:30. Of course, you can rent skates if you don't own, and that should really, really be fun. And a couple more things. Oh, the Bull City Boom and Bash Food Truck Rodeo. That's going to be in Durham Central Park on Saturday from 4 until 10. And it's run by the folks that are running the Friday Festival. So, again, two DJs, shopping with local vendors, uh, food vendors, free admission. So, you should enjoy that in Durham Central Park. And that's going to be on Saturday. Now, the Triangle Country Dancers, they're going to be hosting the first Saturday Contra Dance at Reality Ministries, 916 Lamont Avenue, from 7 until 10. So this is, if you're new to Contra dancing, you can take the dance lesson at 7, and then they will have open dancing from 7:30 until 10. And it's kind of like country dancing, sort of, because they tell you what to do, like, do si do and that kind of stuff. So I learned that in as a little kid, but I don't know if they actually have do si do, but I know they call out the different steps, and then they have musicians playing, like I think Jared Kirkpatrick will be playing keyboard, Kathleen Founds and Audrey Tanu Taylor will be playing fiddle, and Stephanie Marie will be calling out the steps. So that should be fun. Now you can choose to pay anything, whatever you can afford, between 10 and 20, and they accept money in all the various ways that your imagination allows you to think of. So you can click for more information for that event. Now, don't forget that Durham Parks and Recreation and the Durham Bulls and the City of Durham, they're all co-sponsoring the Durham Independence Day celebration at the ballpark. The Durham Bulls will be playing the Gwinnett Stripers. But here's the thing. Usually they let everybody in after the 7th inning. I mean, if you're not attending the game, you don't have a ticket, then they'll open the gates after the 7th inning, and then people can stream in so they can watch the fireworks, which are scheduled to start at 9:15. But this year, the game is already sold out. So just know that you might not be able to fit into the park if all the seats are already taken. So you might want to think of an alternative place to watch the fireworks. And what is suggested is the grassy area behind Diamond View 3, Burt's Bees outside of the North Deck, the Tobacco Road Sports Cafe, or Ponysaurus Brewing. You cannot watch from the parking decks, any of the parking decks. That is simply not allowed. It says here that you can park for free at the Corcoran Street and the Church Street garages. And then when you go to the other garages, like the Justice Center, South, East, and North decks, it'll range from $5 to $10. And that's not a lot, but, I'm just letting you know. And you can only pay with a credit card, just to let you know. Alrighty, and I think that is pretty much it. Oh, one more thing. Ritmo Dance Social, 4015 University Drive, Suite K. They're hosting their 4th of July celebration social from 9:30 until 2 in the morning. So you can take a bachata salsa dance class with Daryl and Susie, followed by open dancing with DJ Salsa Mike. Admission is $20 cash. It'll be a little more if you pay the credit card. They're going to have refreshments, including bottled water, Coca-Cola, and Sprite. So that sounds like a fun night of dancing. So maybe after the fireworks, you might want to head over for Ritmo Dance Social. You might want to check that out. Okay, and I just want to point out, because I won't be doing Bull City Hangout tomorrow or Saturday. Wheels Durham, they're going to have Sunday public skate, 12:30 until 3, and then another session, 3:30 until 6, and that's this coming Sunday. Admission for skaters is only $7. And then again, you can rent if you don't own. So that's pretty much, oh wait, one more thing. Black Market NC, they're hosting the Black Farmers Market. That's at Durham Tech Community College, 1637 East Lawson Street, and that will be Sunday from 1 until 4. And they also take part in double bucks. So if you're using SNAP, EBT, WIC, Public Housing, DHA, double your money by stopping off first at the manager's table before you start shopping. That is an awful lot. Whew, that is a lot. That is so much. All right. Now, let us check the weather, shall we? It is already 94. Heat advisory. Whoa. So it says these conditions are expected by noon Friday, July 3rd, which is tomorrow. Okay. Ooh, and it says CBS 17 is saying dangerous heat and humidity expected to peak in central North Carolina. So again, check out the how-to page, learn the difference between heat stroke and heat exhaustion, and also get some tips on how to beat the heat. So it's 94 right now. It's going up to 98 today. That's hot. That's hot. We're calling for wet hand towels to wrap around your head, your neck. Stay cool, stay hydrated. Use those electrolytes unless you have high blood pressure, in which case instead eat broccoli, avocado, bananas, leafy green leafy vegetables, because those of us who have high blood pressure, we can't use electrolyte powders in water because that has high sodium content. Although I was told that there are electrolyte packets that have low sodium. I haven't found them yet, but they do exist. So, but definitely stay hydrated. So 98 whoa, it's going to be 100 tomorrow. It's going to be sunny and 100 degrees tomorrow. 101 on the 4th of July. It's going to be really, really. Check on your elders. I am so happy that my godmother, I mean, it's always sad news when your loved one has to be in a nursing home, but I'm glad she's in air-conditioned comfort. So, yeah, it's really hot. So Sunday we might get a thunderstorm and 99 degrees. That sounds really volatile. But, yeah, so 94 today. I'm sorry, 98 today, 100 tomorrow, and then 101 on Saturday. Definitely stay hydrated. Wow. So that's all we need to know. Kind of looking forward to the thunderstorm on Sunday. That might bring a little relief, even though it'll be 99. While it rains, hopefully it'll cool us down a little bit. So that is it for today's show. Because tomorrow is a semi-holiday, I won't be doing Bull City Hangout tomorrow. And, of course, on Saturday, that is a holiday, so I won't be doing the show on Saturday. And, of course, I don't do Bull City Hangout on Sunday anyway. So I'll be seeing you on Monday, the 6th. I don't have anything scheduled. So, yeah, so I'll see you Monday. Have a great long weekend, and stay cool, stay hydrated. And I'll see you Monday. Don't forget to check out the Durham Skywriter at durhamskywriter.com. Ciao for now.